18. Focus on the few you have. All available resources there. Creator Science Jake.
See the announcement.
They have a new tool that they're building, which will be a complete website. So it's not just a booking solution, and they're targeting agencies as their.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a guy, he had some harsh comments, but dang, he was on point with it. He said, instead of doing websites, you could have been making the product more, what was it, user experience better. You could have made the the UI better. And somebody said, "What do you mean?" And he says, after you go to you book your time and your date and time, the form looks like this. And it was like, blah. But in my personal opinion, he had too many questions. So I keep mine to 7 or less. At the most of the time, it's like 3: your name, your email, and your phone number. But he had too many. He had over 10.
Mm-hmm.
But when he said add a design or add your brand colors, I'm like, yeah, I could get on board with that. But I didn't reply to him, but he does need to have like 10 or less.
Yeah, people run out of patience answering all those questions.
In my personal opinion, it just didn't look good. Oh, you guys, today is Thomas's very last day of being 68. So, yeah.
Trying to
Happy
hide that.
birthday early, sir.
I don't celebrate my birthdays anymore. If you ignore them, they don't happen, right?
No, that's not true.
I get to celebrate.
Yeah.
But we will
Unfortunately, it's not
celebrate
true.
for you. We will celebrate for you, sir. How about that?
Yeah. We went out for
Hey.
tacos last night to beat the snowstorm. So
Nice.
Okay.
We love tacos around here.
yeah.
Some pico de gallo, of course.
Exactly. That's literally what I was about to say. Erica, her pico de gallo.
Yeah. It's like pico de gallo and automation makes everything just better. Okay. So you guys remember Doc's talk on generative AI, right? So I thought with our event innovator insight sessions, we could keep the conversations going for that entire month. So let's continue the conversation on generative AI. And I finally talked to Gamma. Well, here's what happened. I talked to Chat. I was like, hey, Chat, Doc did a really nice presentation on generative AI. I want to keep that conversation going. We have a meeting tomorrow. Help me out. And Chat says, sure, here you go. I took that outline and gave it to Gamma. Like, I didn't get to talk to Gamma, but Gamma says, give me what you got and I'll make some presentation slides. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about when I say this stuff, because this might be the extent of my English to explain this stuff. So is that a yes, since you guys aren't saying anything? You guys understand me?
That works for
Yeah.
me.
Okay, hold on. Oh, English is hard. Okay, so let me show you what I got from Gamma so we can play this stuff out and talk through it. So hopefully you guys got the description of what we're doing today. So Jack called it AI in your pocket. I thought that was cool, but Gamma says it's AI in action beyond buzzwords. So as I just said, we're going to continue the conversation what we had with Doc Williams the first Friday. And here's how we're getting into it with some icebreakers. What's the funniest or most unexpected thing AI has helped you with? So an example they have is I'm sorry, not they, it's Chat. AI wrote me a wedding toast for my cousin and somehow it turned into a rap battle. So does anybody have anything that Chat has helped you with that you thought was pretty funny?
Honey,
No?
What?
Yes?
I don't think I have anything that helped me with that was funny
Oh,
that I can
okay.
think of.
some of the responses are funny, you know. I mean, I really like it when AI gets, or like ChatGPT is, you know, gets especially exuberant about things. The responses, "Hello, fans," and really goes into that really exuberant stuff. And it's kind of like, that is not me. We're not going to put that in the script. Sorry.
That's
So
No
funny.
worries.
that cracks me
So,
up every time. You know, it's kind of like, I don't think so.
well,
Whenever-
I saw a prompt from Tanya Smith, and she was talking about roast, and I was telling Zakia and Jason that when I asked Chat to roast me, it just totally hurt my feelings. But Jason thought it was the funniest thing ever. It talked about my emails, and I got offended, saying, "Chat, you don't know me. I got a 60% open rate." But another one I got from Anthony. He asked who was into Japanese anime, and I'm like, oh. So the prompt was, Chat, tell me how my favorite Japanese anime, and mine was Kwame Can't Communicate. So I put in Chat, tell me how my favorite Japanese anime, Kwame Can't Communicate, can help me with virtual events. So if you know the show, Kwame can talk. She doesn't. She's scared to talk to anybody, but her goal is to make 100 friends. So Chat says that I am supposed to communicate better, and you know how hard I find English. So I thought it was pretty funny, but it was very practical because it helps you communicate better. Besides speaking, Kwame writes a lot of things down because sometimes she's afraid to talk, but she does talk sometimes over the phone. So you guys have anything like that, maybe?
Something weird, and I think I've mentioned this before, is if you go into like Midjourney and DALL-E and ask an AI agent to give you a self-portrait,
Oh.
that'll weird you out. Self-portrait of AI. It,
Does it? Oh, the AI is making its own self-portrait.
yeah,
I get it.
it's just
Now,
kind of
now I
weird.
want to know.
Yeah, check it out. It's kind of, you know, it's been a while since I've tried that, but it kind of gets a little weird. Yeah. So I don't know
Now,
if it's funny, but it's just kind of weird. But
now I want to see a collage of everybody asking that question and all the pictures together.
yeah, scary stuff.
Okay. Al, did you have anything?
No,
Maybe.
I just usually use it for like to rewrite what I've written in a certain language or something like that, or a certain voice.
Okay.
But I really haven't really tried to use it for. I tried to. I haven't been able to figure out how to use it for like. Oh, that's not true. I have one
Yeah.
app that I use for that helped me create one photo. But then when I tried to get it to create photos like that, like the same person, um, happy or sad or whatever, it won't do it. It's just weird. Like
Yeah.
it just won't give me. I want the same person in the same style,
Mhm.
just happy and sad, and it gives you all kind of craziness. I'm like, I don't get
Okay.
it.
You might want to try Spotter Studio.
Try what?
Spotter Studio. So it attaches itself to your YouTube channel, and if you have an image of yourself, it will make thumbnails for you. But you can use the images for whatever you want. I mostly use them for the blogs besides the thumbnails.
Okay, so
I
you
use
mean
them to say Happy New Year also.
hold on. So you mean like I can?
Okay, let me
Uh,
find my
sorry.
link and I will send it to you. But
Because
it's
what is
really
it?
good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm over here messing up my setup. So because apparently I haven't been here in so long.
Get into my
Everything.
switching. I know I'm sharing my screen, but I'm trying to share my link with you. Let's see.
I
So
know.
I have it here somewhere. Let's see. Yep, Spotter. Here it is. Okay. Now I'm trying to remember where my my chat is. Yeah, I just assumed I pushed that button, it was gonna come up. Oh,
You got an
I
alt
forgot I
tab.
could just push Gamma. Huh?
I was gonna say you had to go alt tab, it'll show up.
No. Well, here is the link I just got.
Thank you, ma'am.
They not
Okay, so let me ask you about this. So you said you put this presentation into what?
Gamma.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to, because
just
I
to show
like.
you,
Go ahead.
just to show you real quick, what I got from you guys that I sent to you on LinkedIn is this whole list of me talking to chat, breaking down what I want to do with you guys for your event innovator insight sessions, for your introductory interviews, for your what is it called, the panel discussions, or your workshops, and the post-event deep dive. This whole thing is me talking to chat about that. So I made one for each of you for this. So I took all of this information, this trying to move this out of the way. I know you guys can't see all of it, but this is my conversation talking to chat about Doc Williams. So I took all of this part, this right here, detail outline for week 1, AI in your pocket. I highlighted all of this. I went to Gamma. Let's see if I can go to yeah, I have no idea how to go back to the other one right now besides the presentation. Can you see the stuff on the side here?
Yes.
So they were all blank, but each one says add. So I added the text from chat, and it gave it its own 2 cents. It rewrote what chat wrote. So chat called it AI in your pocket, and it called it what it called it AI in action. That was it. And I can say yay or nay, and I can download it. It lets me have 8 free slides. Hey, Jason. And that was it. This is Gamma, or at least how I use Gamma.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So the next one is, let me close this, AI from hype to habits. Sharing stories. How are you using AI in your work and personal life? Examples: social media content, uh, meeting notes, creative brainstormings, vacation planning. So before we hit the record button, Zakia told us about how she was repurposing, or how she got the repurposing up so quickly because she had a system in place. I don't know, Zakia, do you want to tell us about your system? Because I have questions about missing letter, because you guys know I love missing letter. So here's my question. I have separate workspaces, and I'm thinking that instead of putting everything in one workspace, that I could have blog posts. I can have the event innovator insight sessions. I can have the talk virtual events, and I can have the blog posts. And I'm thinking I could separate them, because I can say, hey, blog posts go out in a 2-week blast. Full length video go out every 12 months or something like that. How is your missing letter set up, may I ask?
I do have the workspaces, but it's just for each one of the brands that I manage. So they all have their own unique workspace, but we pull their YouTubes, their blogs, and any articles that they like. So we'll use the RSS reader for each one of those workspaces. So similar, I think it's the same idea, or do you have them all in one workspace?
Right now, they're all in one workspace.
Yeah, I would separate them. It'll make it easier for you when you know you're doing event innovator insights versus talk virtual, or yeah, keep them
Okay,
separate.
good to know. Thank you for telling me. Um, does anybody else have any examples of how they're using AI?
One example I have is Sound Made Scene, and it will take your content and create audiograms for it, but it also has the translation feature. And I'm just working with a Spanish speaking organization to see how reliable it is. The interesting thing, it will clone your voice, or you can use an AI voice. I let it clone my voice, and the Spanish voice sounded more like me than the actual English voice. So that was pretty interesting. But I think that's a unique way of creating content where you might be an expert soap maker in English. Can you become that in Spanish? So that's what I'm using that tool for.
Nice. I remember your walkthrough on that, and I was just about to ask you, why are you not using Content Files for that? But Content Files doesn't do the whole change your voice into Spanish thing. So, why Spanish, may I ask?
Largest immigrant population in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Good answer.
But if they call you, how do you talk to them?
That would be with the voice agent. So the voice
Oh,
agent can also speak Spanish.
very nice.
But how do you know what to do? How do you know what they're saying?
So you feed the voice agents with your knowledge base. So the questions and the answers the answers to the questions would be identical. It just knows to speak it in Spanish. So the same way it says press one for English, press two for Spanish. If they press Spanish, it knows to give them the Spanish agent, but it's using the knowledge base that I've put in there for this is how you answer fatty acid questions, supply questions, shipping questions, business questions. So it's the same answers, and it knows because it uses natural language processing in order to kind of figure out, similar to ChatGPT, you don't necessarily have to say, I want to make a soap bar for it to know that you want to make a soap bar. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it's using natural language processing to figure out what their intent is. And then based on that intent, it's looking at the knowledge documents to say, oh, Zakia has a
So
book
I was
on.
I was just meaning like, what if they try to reach out to you not on the platform and they
I'll
call
tell
you?
them I don't speak Spanish. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to support them individually.
Okay.
I think
But that
Google has an AI for that. So when somebody talks to you, I see these commercials where people put in earbuds and they go to Korean nail shops, and then they'll say, "Stop making fun of me" or something like that because I can understand you. But
I
yeah,
actually brought those from TikTok. My mom and I are going to Vietnam in May, so that's why I brought them. So we'll see if they actually work.
nice. I'm sure there's like maybe where you going to, Korea or Vietnam? Which one did you say?
Vietnam and Thailand.
Oh, I'm sure there's some places around Philadelphia where you can meet people who speak. I don't know the name of the language, but I'll say Vietnamese and Thai, and I am guessing that are the names of the languages.
Vietnamese
So
is right. Taiwanese is the other one.
Taiwanese. Oh, I learned something new today. Yeah, ask your phone where they hang out and then go meet them and see if they work. It's like, hey, I got these things. I want to see if they work.
Yeah.
Did you get them yet, Zakia?
Not yet. I ordered them. I just saw them on TikTok like maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And I said, yeah. And they were like $30. And they have like it's just like the AirPods where you
Yeah.
can find it. You can actually connect it to you have to connect it to your phone. But when you connect it to your phone, you can take a picture, all kinds of stuff. Like, you never know. But yeah, so they'll be
Commercials
coming.
look pretty spiffy.
Looking on
I looked at
TikTok, you
them.
better do it quick.
Yeah.
TikTok's going away in what, 8 days?
No, no. The new president says he likes TikTok and he doesn't see why it would go away. So
No, it looks like they're getting rid of it, Erica.
Yeah.
For real this time, not like
yeah.
not like all the other years where they said we're getting rid of it. No, they couldn't answer some questions about if the Chinese government had access to ByteDance, or they wouldn't answer those when they had the hearings.
Which means yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had access to what?
All the data that was being captured on TikTok
Why wouldn't they?
because they're supposed to be a private company.
Nothing in China is
But
private. Everything by the government.
That's the point. Yeah,
Nothing in America is private either, but
exactly.
Yeah.
there are
Yeah,
spies and our arch nemesis, and you have everybody walking around with it on their person, right? And so
Mhm.
let's see all of the bad things that we can infiltrate. But yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
but everything that we buy and get is from China. So it's like, really?
Right. So these air pieces that I'm ordering, right? What kind
Mhm.
of technology have they embedded in them? Because we can know, like, it's just an endless loop.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everything we get comes from China. So
Yeah.
there's no
It's
there's
just an
no
excuse to ban a competitor, look like you're doing
yeah,
something. It's a
Yeah.
game.
yeah.
Like everything with government, it's a game.
Yes. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
boo.
It's kind of like
Okay.
the fires in LA. It's the same pattern, the same everything as the fires in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And the
And
government's just trying to act like it's not really the
and
same. So now they're trying to blame some dude saying he started the fires with some kind of blowtorch. Y'all, really? Nobody saw this man running around with a blowtorch and in California did not shoot him. Really?
can't have guns in California.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody shot him.
No, nobody.
You're gonna come burning up our neighborhood.
Guns are basically outlawed in California. So
Yeah, because what was it?
It's
Black
only
Panther
outlawed for the
went
good
to
guys.
the
It's not outlawed for the bad guys.
yeah, well, that's true.
Come on now.
Only the good guys.
You got to be
Only the good
following the
guys
law
can't
for
have
you
guns.
to yeah, you got to be following the law for you to be following the rules.
When I lived in California, I got a concealed carry permit and it was a nightmare. It took me 2 years to get the darn thing. And then I come out to Tennessee and you sign up with your driver's license.
Yeah.
It's
I was gonna say same day here.
it's yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts. But yeah, but California's just yeah. So but only the good guys can't have guns. That's so you're right.
Exactly.
But yeah,
I
it's
mean, the
all
good guys wouldn't try to shoot them. They'd have called the police if they saw them. But my point is, if you know good and well, if you live somewhere and you see somebody coming down the street with a blowtorch, you're not gonna shoot them. What you gonna do with a blowtorch but other burn up people's houses and cars and people?
unfreeze faucets out here. I just had one.
Unfreeze faucets. This is hilarious.
I was just now using the blowtorch on the faucet so I could get the manifold off that I forgot to take off, and it was frozen on. So blowtorch, I got one.
You said faucets. I thought you said possums.
Yeah, no.
No, but
that's far more.
he had no
But you're
support.
exactly right. Yeah, you're running around with a blowtorch to the neighbor. Yeah, it's nefarious activity. But there's way too many suspicious. I mean, all those fires starting at the same time, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of Yeah, it's government, and
Of
BlackRock.
course.
So,
It's the
but
same thing that they did in Hawaii.
yeah,
And look at it. Why is it the
and
same affluent situation?
and
You
Northern
know,
California, in
Man,
Paradise up there in Northern California, same, trees standing completely unscathed and houses burned down all around them, and weird signs like that. So makes you wonder.
mhm. And
It,
now,
it
so
was the
I just
wind.
saw a video. I just saw a
it was
video
the
of a
wind.
guy. Huh?
Okay, yeah, it was the wind. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw a video of a
Northeaster.
guy standing in front of his house and his palm tree's on fire, and nothing else is on fire. He's like, "How does this happen?
yeah.
There's nothing
Wow.
else in their area on fire except his palm tree."
Man, y'all just called out government owning social platforms, and y'all agreeing with Thomas about calling out BlackRock. This ain't gonna
I
be
said
allowed
I
on
said the
YouTube.
wind. I said the
So
wind.
I
Yeah,
said the
there
wind.
you go. Jason's fine. I'm expecting a knock on my door any minute here, but
Right?
Don't jinx
hey,
it,
put
Thomas.
it this way: if you're not on a few lists already, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, but you know too much, Thomas. Or does
Oh
anybody else have
goodness.
anything about the
I,
AI from hype to habits?
I did post in the chat a link of something that you might want to read. It's interesting because it really talks about, the zero-click search thing that Google is working on in the Google, but they're talking about AI actually, getting rid of Google search making it
Mm,
outdated, where
interesting.
you're not getting and the fact that people have all these websites for their businesses that are going to be pretty much useless. So how do you get around that? It's
Mhm.
so it's an interesting article. I shared it up here. You might want to read it because it's some points to ponder. I don't think websites are going to go entirely away, but they're not getting found to the degree they are with the traditional search we were used to, where people would click through. Now it's just they gather your information and they give an answer to somebody and they never see your website.
Yeah,
Things like
where'd you send that Tom? Was
it's
it in the chat or?
it's in the chat, but
Oh,
it
you
may
know
have
what?
been.
I think because I came in late, it doesn't
Oh,
show for me.
let me post it again. So yeah, I'll post it again because
Okay.
it's it's thought provoking. I don't know if the situation is that dire right now, but it's something to think about for the future.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, um,
There's a company called Pledge.ai, and I wouldn't suggest going through them because but I, anyway, but what they're advertising is that you can actually program chat with your information, and just like you can like Alexa. And I've been working on programming Alexa for a while with audio clips and stuff. So I feel like there's just, if you want to stay on, like, instead of being like on the top of the search engine for Google, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna be able to program those audio, because people aren't searching on their, because I'm like, hey Siri all day, you know. And Jason always was picking on my Siri because he'd be like, uh-huh. But 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 the thing is I've been like really trying to like get behind the scenes and figure out how that's going to work, because a lot of what's happening is when you're doing your you're putting your content in, it's like that you're educating your chat, right? You're educating your
Mhm.
chat. And so that chat is going to start answering other people's questions with your content.
Are you
Exactly.
talking about AI agents?
No, I'm just talking about
Yeah.
the straight up, no agent, no nothing. Just like when you say, "Hey Siri, hey Google," or whatever, it's gonna pop up with your content.
Okay.
So, what I've been trying to do is be intentional with what I'm putting into my chat, which is why I didn't really have that many answers for you earlier, because I only put information in that I know that I definitely feel is accurate and correct. And because it's all like, because I only really use it for like rewriting content with a specific angle, like write it as, as a marketing slant or information, or make it warm or whatever, and then have it do that for me. I don't put information, like when I'm doing inquiries, I don't use chat. I use
Okay.
other, like I always go anonymous, right, when I'm doing inquiries, and use an anonymous window, oh, incognito rather, I guess, and do it that way so that it doesn't track back to me in my chat. Does that make sense? So like if I'm doing market research on chocolate chips, for example, which one are gluten free, I'm not going to put that in my chat because I don't want my chat to
Did I
have
freeze or did you all freeze?
um I'm
Alice?
good. Everybody else is moving.
Okay.
What I did, so then that way, just like when you're going to separate out each one of your things in Blab into different segments, I mean, not Blab, yeah, or no,
Missing letter?
missing letter, into different segments, you want to keep your searches separate. So I never do, if I'm doing, I have two different phones now, which is crazy. The one of them I use for like my regular life questions if I'm going to do it, and then I have the one for the business that's only used for business related searches or information. Because I feel like if you confuse the thing, eventually it's just going to start giving really bad information from you about your business if you aren't clear.
Understood.
Yeah, I think that, well, I've been saying this for a moment, so I'm about to beat the already dead horse. But yeah, he's like, "Mhm." Okay. Um, yeah, I think that it's almost inevitable that eventually it is going to do what it's going to do. I mean, we've already seen it in the movies. It's not like the stuff in the movies has been far fetched over the years, because we're seeing stuff now that was in the movies 20 and 30 years ago, and we're right there in it. So I think that what's happening right now, just like how everybody started reporting on themselves in social media, that everybody is now training AI to replace them in AI. Does that mean that we don't use AI? Not necessarily. I mean, it is what it is. But just understand that I think that it's important that things are built in a way that you're still building other things, like you're building in parallel. I was just looking at Switzerland, and how when they were surrounded by the communists on one side, and Germany on the other side and whatnot, and they wanted to remain neutral. So they became amazing diggers and tunnelers. So they have their whole country, their whole mountainside is a series of tunnels and uh, guns and to defend themselves. Like, they're impenetrable. But that's because they drilled down and drilled in. They're like, oh yeah, there's 85 meters under this rock. We've got showers and this, that, and the other. It's like, so they became master diggers. So in a sense, we've got to be master diggers or miners, if you will, in our own things. How are we making sure that we are structuring so that at the point that AI does what they're programming AI to do, and I don't know if you all have seen the AI engineers who are like, yeah, I'm out. I mean, this thing it's like way far gone. This is not, like they're playing with danger here, but they're not going to stop. Because now that it's out there, it's not like one country is going to say, well, you know what, this is unethical, so we're going to stop. They're like, well, no, we have to keep going because the other country is going to keep going too. So now everybody's got to do what they're going to do. And what they're doing is training AI to replace them, and we've seen enough of those war games and movies like that that we're right in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the
So
reality is, of what you say, instead of waking up one day and wondering why your website has zero hits, in the last
Exactly.
6 months, is you gotta, for us, we're
Yeah,
not gonna influence that. We got to adapt, and
exactly.
the people that don't adapt are the ones that are gonna lose. So we
Exactly.
got to get out ahead of the trends and adapt, and
And
there's always going to
leverage.
be tools. It's just you got to, things are changing so fast. It's tough to keep up sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's why meetings like this are important, is sharing that information so we can
Mm-hmm.
adapt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's
Absolutely.
going to be really the key. So yeah, you make a very good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of like when you and I remember when I was coming up, and um, my mom, when she used to go to Vegas or to the horse races or whatnot, every time that she would win, she'd go buy something with the winnings. And that way she's like, yeah, I'll never end up coming out of here having lost anything, you know. So that is kind of like how we have to assign our winnings, our how do, when we close a contract, how do we then structure that so that there's always something that is building towards something, you know. And it's common sense, but we may not always think along those lines. I think there's going to be some really big hits as we jump out ahead of everything and are there, before there's an intersection. And then we have to be ready to pivot because the things will become yesterday's news quite fast. I was hearing something in the background on TikTok. So, Zakia, what were you saying? Is TikTok going away?
Yeah, in about 8 days, supposedly. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
when they were the I guess the CEO of TikTok, he went in front of Congress. I
Mm-hmm.
guess it was about 3 months, Tom. Now, how long was those
Yeah,
were those hearings?
it's been a little while. Yeah. And yeah.
And he couldn't, and or he it's not that he couldn't, he would not answer questions around the Chinese government having
Oh,
access to the data.
oh.
And they kept saying, well, it's we have different warehouses, and then he would point out that there was very clear in their terms of service the affiliates of ByteDance. So if the Chinese government is an affiliate, how are they
Mm,
getting that data? And he just wouldn't answer the question.
right.
And so we were mentioning TikTok in particular because Erica was talking about the AirPods, or the Air things that can translate language. And
Mm-hmm.
I had just ordered some off of TikTok, and I'm now hoping that I actually get them because the delivery is January 22nd.
Mm, okay. Did you see there was a I think that I was either reading or watching. It kind of gets fuzzy. Was it reading or watching? Because sometimes, I read and I see pictures. So I guess I was watching it either way. Yeah, right. So it is the I don't know if it is a patent that they have or it is patent pending, but Apple was doing that for the ear pods where they're actually scanning your brain.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, your phone can do that now.
Hmm?
Your phone can do that now.
Yeah, and the AirPods been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They Apple just got caught doing it.
Right. I mean,
But you
granted, I
said
don't
there's a
use those
patent
things.
pending on that
I don't know
technology?
if it's patent pending or if it's already patented, but
Wow.
It's
yeah.
already
It's
patented.
already
If it's out,
patented.
you know about it, it's
Uh,
already patented.
okay.
Yeah, it's been patented for decades actually. They just
Mm,
Yeah.
now have a device that more people have.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It's part of
Very good.
paperclip.
Okay.
So, Tom, I got
Oh,
really into, and since we're talking about AI, this might be like in the moment AI. What I did was I took the article, and the interesting thing is when I tried to put it into Notebook LM, it wouldn't allow me. It said this site is blocked. So there are some people that are doing things to prevent AI from
Mm-hmm.
kind of scraping their sites. But then I used another tool, Merlin, to have a discussion
Oh,
with the
Merlin.
website.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I asked it because we were talking about that 0 click, and I'm going to copy the link here so you all can see it on strategies that people can do in this age of 0 click. So that might be helpful because the first thing it's talking about is a structured data schema,
Mm-hmm.
like adding structured codes and schemas and making sure your brand is mentioned so that whenever it's being pulled up by AI, it's still building that brand awareness and then making sure you're optimizing for brand search. But it has some good ones in there. I just copied and pasted. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're interested in that, I thought it was really useful. And it's
Thank
on
you.
brand with what your topic was for today, Erica.
I do appreciate it. So are you guys done with this AI from hype to habits? Because I want to scroll up.
Yeah. Just
Well,
And of course, I'll have to catch that part of the replay so I can understand, the hype to habits dealio.
yeah, I did put that link in there, Jason. So you should
Okay,
have
great.
that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
so AI powered ideas challenge. Use AI to create a
And
LinkedIn
Zakia
post.
did a summary. Yeah.
Yeah, we've already done this. Like way back when Harry was here, when Harry used to hang out with us. If you guys see Harry, I'm not gonna call him myself, but if you guys see Harry, you tell him I miss him.
He's just been
But
really taxed from school. He'll be back shortly. He's finishing up the last bit of his dealio.
okay, Elle told me
Yeah.
that last night. I told her I didn't believe her because I think school was over with in November, but it's possible he could have went through December. Okay, so the challenges to use LinkedIn post, and what I was talking about, Harry, is that he was telling me that my post was too long and it sounded like chat. And what I got from Zakia and Jason is that it needed to have more personality. So I tried to have it before you have to scroll. And I asked Chat to make it fun, funny, sassy with a little bit of roast throughout with using the story hook offer format or framework, and along with what is it called? Trial closing. So that's what I'm doing for my LinkedIn post. It's usually pretty good with the event title. Um, I usually don't ask it to do anything for my event titles, I guess because I've been hanging out with them for like 2 years now. So if you guys have any example prompts for your LinkedIn posts, I am still interested.
Well, example of what? I'm sorry.
Your LinkedIn post or event
Okay.
titles. I mostly use this for creating LinkedIn events.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys wasn't here last Friday, Zakia told us about a cool thing about creating the polls and then making your event from that poll. So I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Nice.
if you follow her on LinkedIn, she actually walks you through the whole thing. But I'm not sure if you know what she was doing if you weren't here that Friday.
Yeah, I don't think I was there that Friday. Let's see. Mm.
Zakia, I don't know if you want to repeat that, but
I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about.
okay. So you had went to uh seminar, an event, and the guy told you to create a poll about
Oh,
what you think your target audience may be interested in. And then you created a poll in LinkedIn and people voted on it. You left it up for about a week. And then you said people have answered. Your next event will be on creating courses. And so she had the event page, it linked to the event page, and people signed up for it. She told us when it was, and she had like posts to talk about creating courses leading up to the event. And the event was amazing. Her event was like maybe an hour, and it was on, I want to say, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. But like the day after, maybe a few hours after, she had the repurposing already ready. I thought that part was amazing. But yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
So it was I got really interested. I'm very late but not really. Social audio. So I got on Clubhouse back in 2020, but I just didn't stick with it. And then they made changes to it, and I just thought it was being sunset or whatever. And I had ran into some folks that were using LinkedIn live audio rooms from going to the Go Brunch World Building Expo. And I started to not necessarily listen to what they were saying or what they were posting, but more so how they were engaging. And the one
Hmm.
thing I can say that I really liked and saw a benefit to that I have not leveraged with the live streaming side is the collaborative creation of content. So when they're doing these live audio events, you might start with one particular topic, but because of the social nature of it, it's not all on the host to come up with start to finish of it. So I thought that was really unique and something that I didn't pay close enough attention to in 2020 with the onset of Clubhouse. So I then started looking at what he was doing to garner interest for the events. Like I'm a person where I can hear people say, you got to pre-promote, you got to do this thing. But if I don't see it in practice, I can't make sense of it. And so I was able to see what he did was it wasn't that he had expertise in all of the polling areas that he was going to do. It was just garnering the interest of those individuals by using a poll on LinkedIn. So I knew I wanted to talk about online courses, social media, and live streaming for this first quarter. But I wanted to engage the audience, and that is why I did the poll to see which one to do first. So it wasn't like a guessing game. It was more of, I know I want to talk about these things. Here are the three that I want to do. Then, after they responded, it was very clear that the courses were at the top of the list. So I created a LinkedIn live event, again, changing my behavior of just clicking the go live button. I have never scheduled anything. And the beauty of doing that on LinkedIn is they will send email notifications to those people that RSVP. So that was how I used it. And then just to the repurposing conversation, I used three tools in particular. The first one is Video Tap. That one will pull. And the only reason I live stream to YouTube simultaneously is so that Video Tap can see it. It will pull it, create the shorts, create the blog post and the newsletter. That blog post is then put on my WordPress website, which is then picked up by Missing Letter to send all of that stuff out there. Very
You
long
left out the
answer to a
part.
very short question.
You left out the part where you made it a 4-part series and you announced the series at the end of your
Yeah, so I would go after I got that answer, I leveraged ChatGPT to give me suggestions on what the series could be. I told it what I wanted to talk about, but then I had it give me titles, descriptions, and all of that stuff, and created each of those events. And now there's a switchy page where people are able to opt in and get the newsletter. I had 3 people actually book a consult for those who don't want to do their own courses, and they were paid consults using Book Like a Boss. So it's I'm trying, back to Elle's point early on, I'm trying to use the tools that we have instead of looking for something else.
Hmm.
And now with what Tom is saying about, hey, our stuff just isn't going to be showing up in Google, I'm keeping that top of mind for these blog posts that I'm putting out there to make sure that I do have the schema and the markup and all of that stuff. And let's just talk about that because my vegan soap cookbook came up in an AI tool, which was
Nice.
fabulous. While we were live streaming, I was demonstrating one of the tools where it allows you to kind of see what is happening in the course world in terms of what the market size is, how many courses there are, what niches they're in, and all of that. But then you can also get sentiment analysis across the board on what the reviews are saying, gap analysis, and all of that. But then you can also do book research And then when I put in the soap, my vegan soap book came up number 2, which was amazing in the AI tool. So there you have it. So
That's
how
all.
and I think back to, and I'm sorry, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I think back to my original question when we first started talking about ChatGPT, and I asked, how are we going to get our brands into these large language models so it's pulling our content? And I think back then we were saying, oh, we can't do it because it's just data from all over and all these years, but it's still pulling from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But now,
Zaki, I need a favor now.
what do you need a favor now?
Okay, so I want you, when you get this video, I want you to take out the part where you said all of this, and because that is a very nice strategy, I think is a very actionable strategy. So checklist the audio and sell that, pretty please, because that was amazing.
Okay. Okay.
She's like, hey, cricket.
Yeah, I give
Dropping
Zakia
so many
ideas.
gems.
I'm not going to sell them. She's like, that was really good.
Well, I have to see it work 3 or 4 times before that's something I'm willing to sell to people. Like I
Okay.
can do it because I have this kind of blueprint in my head and I'm probably missing 15 steps. I should probably be leveraging pickaxe within those, like there's so many other ways I would improve that. That's a very rudimentary way that I'm doing it.
Okay.
But if
I
you
just
think
felt
it's
Okay,
like
so
but you
good,
know good and well that if you know that you always trying to, when you're gonna sell something, you need your MVP. And if you try to add all those other things into it, it's just gonna confuse the crap out of people. They're not gonna do it. But what you just shared is enough for MVP. So you don't, I mean, because people got to get started.
yeah, yeah, all right.
okay.
Tom, would you
So
do any of those steps? So I'm going to ask Tom because you two are just like, go for it. Tom is quiet, but Tom, what would you buy something like that if it was like a whole repurposing framework?
I think so because, that's kind of what it comes down to is pulling together, I mean, if you're doing courses, for instance, and you do courses, is pulling together all that stuff. I mean, that's the hardest part and the most time consuming part is to pull all together all that information for courses. Is that kind of what you're talking about? I would definitely be interested in stuff like that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the repurposing is kind of what you do. I mean, I got a bunch of YouTube videos and other documents and this and that, and then reference materials, repurposing that and pulling it together. That's where, whatever you can do to speed up that process reliably, and that's the kind of key is is good because it just takes time to create a course and summarizing that data is a big part of your time
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
and getting into usable form that translates to your audience. I might take some technical document and then you're you're going through that, you're consolidating it down to something that's in the language of the people you're speaking to, and that's just time consuming. So whatever you can do to speed up that process, I think is important. So
Okay.
it helps. Yeah.
See, we not crazy. Well, maybe a little
okay.
bit.
I do realize I throw a lot of stuff at you and tell you to do it, but I thought that was a really good strategy. Well, anything else on AI powered ideas?
I have
Uh,
not figured out, how when you're looking at the ideas, like we always have ideas, right? And I
Mhm.
keep thinking, okay, so I'm gonna put this in this chat thing and ask it these questions. And I'm like, then I've I've never gotten anything that I thought was like so great that I actually use it without giving it what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like you
Exactly.
just can't have, yeah, you just can't have like so willy-nilly. Like, I'm really having, I feel like I'm one of those people, like I overthink every little thing. And then I start like stressing myself out because every little thing. And that's not really how it's supposed to be. So I'm trying to be better at that because what I know is that, the Lord always kind of like works it out, but I it's my defaults. So I'm doing better at talking to myself about having better defaults about things. But when you try to get that chat to, when I first started, before I bought the chat, that the 4.0, whatever. I don't think it's 4.0. I think they upgraded to 4.0. But anyway, so when I first bought it, I had no idea what I was gonna be using it for. I just felt like I didn't want to be behind an eight ball. I needed to be at least like kindergarten level on the thing. So I started doing different things and looking at different things and trying to figure out what it could do at first. And so my first conversation was all over the place because I wanted to see what acrobatics it could do. And I didn't find that it was really good at doing like mental acrobatics. So I started just really saying, okay, so these are the parameters in which I want you to function. And this is the information that I want you to utilize for that. And this is the type of result that I'm looking for. So I felt like using it more intentionally instead of more just kind of creatively, because I don't think that it's very creative. I think that it's reiterative.
And Elle, you said you purchased the 4.0. I remember you were telling us about that earlier. Are you leveraging the ChatGPT projects? Because what you just described, if you were to um, give it the instructions of your parameters, your information, and even what an example output looks like for what you want it to give you, each conversation, and Perplexity has it too. Each conversation would always have that as a starting point. So then you could ask it a specific question to get more along the lines of what you want instead of
Yes.
starting from scratch each time.
Yeah. So I have certain, like I have a conversations that I've programmed in, like you can start different ones. In the
Hmm.
one that I have, they call them conversations. I don't know. So I put like all the information, like whose voice I want you to use, whose knowledge base I want you to use. And then over time I've added different knowledge bases, and I'm like, okay, I need you to like take the breadth of the conversation that we've had so far, and because I don't want to start from scratch. I want you to take what I've already told you and use that along with this new information to give me a new output. Like, don't just keep repeating the same stuff over and over, because that's what was happening when I first started. Like, it would give me this like the same information, just kind of like tweaked. So I didn't find that useful. So then I started another conversation, and I kind of like grew, like, I I think that thing probably knows more about my business than I do at this point. So yeah, I use it like that.
Okay. And it sounds like you're using a Chat GPT wrapper that's similar to what Merlin is. Just one thing, they sometimes don't have the best results instead of going directly to the tool. So maybe try just going to Chat GPT
Is
directly.
Chat GPT, but I didn't, okay, so now I'm confused because I thought what I had was Chat GPT. So I don't have Chat GPT, I got something else.
I remember when you shared it, it was like a lifetime deal or something where you paid one
I think it was
time.
just,
Oh,
it
just
was
one
just
year.
one.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're going to chatgpt.com, you're using the real thing.
No, this one's from Brazil, and it's called Engado, something like that.
Yeah. So that's a wrapper. And so
Mm-hmm.
they tap into the models, and
Mm-hmm.
you can probably use Gemini, Perplexity, and all of those, but you don't get the same kind of results that you would get if you were using the tool directly.
So I just go
It
to
probably is 90%
chatgpt.com.
of the, or it's OpenAI. I just have it saved on here. Yeah,
It's open.
chatgpt.com.
Oh,
Somehow it got to my ChatGPT by going to OpenAI or chat, but I normally would type in OpenAI. But when I'm looking at my address bar for my chat now, it says chatgpt.com.
Okay, so let me see. I never used it.
And that does have a pro version associated with it at $20 a month. Or if you want to use Sora, $200 a month. But
Yeah.
Well, that's if you want the
But why
500
would you?
videos.
Yeah.
yeah.
What 500 videos? What y'all talking about?
Sora gives you 500 videos for 200 a month, or you can get what is it, 25 or 50? What is it, 25 or 50 for 20 a month?
I
Well,
think
I
it might
think
be.
that's
I don't use it for videos.
Yeah, I was being facetious. Nobody's giving them $200 unless it's going to give me a full Tyler Perry film that I can sell to Netflix.
and I think the $20 is is your Chat GPT subscription. So
Yeah,
yeah, so Sora is included with that, I think.
it is. Yep.
The basic, yeah. So
Why would you want that thing to make a video for you?
So that
like
you
a
wouldn't
movie.
have to do it yourself.
yeah.
There's
Um,
always a way to make those videos to give it a context that'll work. And so long as you can create those parameters, it's workable. If you can't create the parameters, then that's when it looks really like, what are you doing?
yeah, there's this whole theory on faceless videos and stuff, but that you know that seems to possibly be going away too. We want to more closely identify our face and our brand with our product so that we get away from being lost in that zero click world. So faceless videos, I think, are probably uh, you know probably not worth investing a lot of time in. They may be good for certain purposes, but if but there's people that build entire YouTube channels around
Oh,
faceless
absolutely.
videos. Yeah,
Yeah. And it
and
depends on the industry,
yeah,
what your outcome is.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's just kind of being aware of the changing realities. Once again,
hmm
is yeah.
Erica, is it okay if I share my screen? Because that Japanese anime got me. And I did a whole, and I can also show the Sora example to Elle in the whole prompting thing. It won't be
Hey,
long.
I love Japanese anime, so
All right.
yes.
So what I did was when Erica mentioned that, I went into ChatGPT and I asked it, um, based on all of our interactions, who would my Japanese anime be? And it says your Japanese anime persona would likely be a strong, multifaceted protagonist who seamlessly blends blah 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 blah. And then the name it gave me was Zyra Kaizen, meaning blooming flower and continuous improvement. Then I said, write a short children's book about this character, right? And then the last prompt that I gave it, I said, give me a prompt I can use in Sora to create a video for this character and story. So it gave me that prompt. And now I'm going to go right into Sora. And when I press enter, it's going to try and generate it. These were the first ones that I tried with like just the soap stuff, not very good prompts there. But you can see here, L, I had it doing a joyful soap making, create a video featuring an African American in her mid 30s. And it's kind of that. So it's not the best thing. It's not something that you would put out there, but it's again with everything with this stuff, it's all in the prompting. And I'm just curious what it's going to give us for our Chinese or our Japanese anime character.
Okay. We finally got snow over here, you guys.
You see snow?
Yep.
I got a few inches already. So
We didn't have any. I mean, I didn't think we were going to get any, but now it's like actually snowing like big flakes, not those little tiny ones. We usually get the super micro fine ones that kind of look more like sleet than snow, but these are like big fluffy ones.
I'm looking
So
at
I
the
guess I gotta
radar. It's a
wait 30
big
minutes before
storm.
I can see it.
It's a big
it
storm.
really is a big storm.
Yeah. I was looking at the radar. It's kind of like, ooh.
So are we really going to get snow? Like, I mean, like, because I'm just kind of like I ain't believe them.
We're looking at 6 to 8 inches here. So
Well, we're
Wow.
in South Carolina. What are we going to get? Y'all always get snow in Tennessee now, Thomas.
but not that much, a few times a year, but
Yeah, but
but
we don't get any. I mean, the most that we
yeah.
ever get is like an ice storm, and it's always overnight, and it
Well,
only
this
lasts a little bit.
yeah, yeah. I
It's
mean,
cute.
it's supposed to snow all day, and I think it's headed your direction. So, it's going to pop over the Cumberland Plateau, and you're gonna see something for sure. So,
Okay.
No.
All right then. Sorry, Zakia. But okay, so that's cute. Oh, the kids be watching this. All right.
And then it was this
I've
one
seen
too.
it.
Oh, so cute.
And then you can remix it and create a whole story, and then you would download it, upload it into another AI tool, and do a voiceover or add music or a faceless YouTube channel.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that's the example of Sora.
I just
Nice.
don't have. I'm just not even. I don't think I'm there. I'm just not there. Like because
it's hard to keep up.
yeah, because I guess first of all, my aesthetic of video is so I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm a, how can I put that? I, I'm a snob about a lot of things, right? So when it comes to video, I think that it needs to be the best video or don't do it, right? And so it took me a long time to even start doing just my own kind of like those little videos that I started doing last year. And it was like a lot, and it took me a lot to be willing to put out um that type of content. uh but I felt like okay, so it's time for the energy of content is more, it's less, I would say less production now, and because people are looking for actual connection because we were so disconnected for so long. So I felt like okay, this is good. This is a good time to try it, and it's been okay. But then it's just kind of like how the stories, right? Remember they had went through that phase where they were very produced, like with Mrs. Chandler and everything was on there, and then they went through the phase where they looked like they were just like running and gunning, doing those shooting the stories. They weren't on sound stages; they were like outside and all that, and then people just stopped watching the stories. And then now I think they went back to more of a more produced version of the soap operas in the afternoon. I don't watch them anymore, but
So,
just the whole feeling. I feel like video, like we have to do more to be in touch, and that's going
well,
to help us to stand out, I guess, is what I'm
well,
trying to
the
say.
one thing I would say is I gave you a very rudimentary one. I would implore you to go to the Sora.com website to see what real prompting would get you in terms of the quality of videos, because the one I created was maybe preschool before you get to preschool level. They
Okay.
have like full feature cinema productions that looks like it was shot with the highest resolution camera.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm gonna check into it just so I can be aware. But I don't think I'm gonna get into it because I'm like I'm trying really hard not to add more stuff to my plate. I got a whole team of people now. I'm like, y'all do that. I can't do everything anymore. I done got too old, I feel.
Who knew that turning 31 would be too old? It's like, dang.
I wish. I wish.
Okay.
I wish. I wish.
So the next one, I hope you guys was finished with the AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Taking AI to the next level. Key takeaways. What's one thing you learned or found surprising today about using AI?
Then I can write a
So,
movie.
yep.
That was cool. I mean, that's really interesting.
I really did like the whole breakdown of what Zakia is doing on LinkedIn. Um, Besides what she said today, if you go to her page and you go to her post, you could probably see how she used all of the things she talked about today. So that one was my favorite. Uh, Anybody else?
I think that Zakia always has amazing content. Um, I just don't have I don't have all the softwares that y'all have. I thought I had a lot. Y'all got more than me.
We're addicted, remember?
We're
It's
junkies,
not
yeah.
necessarily a good thing.
Let me while we here, I know Eric, I'm so sorry. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Okay, so somebody got a blab that they can have an extra person or extra thing. Or would Eric explain that what I'm talking about? So I can have my own blab.
Teams. I think it's called
What?
Teams. I think it's called
No,
Teams.
I thought people bought like packets where you could have like, is that what it's called, Teams? Where you can have your own blab.
Tom? Zakia? Is that what it's called?
What?
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
corporate account where you could have separate logins. Like I have a login for Veda, I have one for Business Tech Lab, and I have one for Live Soap School. But I don't think I can change the beginning of it where I think I tried to make it as generic as possible to make it like virtual.co because I could then sell that to other people. But I do have a license for you, but I have to just check, L.
Okay.
Because you definitely need a scheduling tool like that with your new practice.
Yes, because because I bought one. I got Tidy Cow, and so that's pretty cool for certain things. But I feel like just to have people, I want to. What my goal? So this is my goal for as like far as sales because we don't really do sales exactly. And I'm like, okay, if we're gonna really have a business, you have to have a sales process, right? So for people who find you, right? So what I'm thinking is I want to have like kind of like a mini, like a super mini webinar, right? That's like maybe 5 minutes or less, right? Where you get to find out like who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing, what's the point of what we're doing, and how you can find out if this is for you, right? Because I don't want people to come in thinking that they just going to automatically end up on our schedule, right? So that's kind of what, and then I want them to be able to reach out to our consultation team so that they can actually we can figure out if we can help you or will. I know this is going to sound so crazy, you guys, but are we willing to help you? Because what I know is what we do helps everyone, right? But the problem is we end up with I have found that we have had more issues with certain groups of or types of people than it's worth, so I end up having to spend way too much time doing what that's not our business model, right? When we take on certain types of clients. And I guess that's the refining point for every company. So we have a much more stringent um, process. And I feel like a blab would be a really great opportunity to use that for that. Um, look at as a tool. So I just want people to feel comfortable and at ease when they watch it. But if, you know, that makes sense. And we could probably use something else, but I'm trying to figure out what tool we're going to use to accomplish that.
So When I hear you say that, it sounds like you're trying to do evergreen webinars and capture people's information before they book with you.
Yeah, I guess we should be trying to capture their information, but I don't want to. I know this is gonna, let me tell you, this is gonna sound so crazy, but I don't want your information. I don't want your information if you're not going to make the call, right? To that makes sense? Like I want you to know when you call us that we're the right fit for you ahead of time. And then or you think we are, right? And so then once you call us, I want to pre-qualify you, right? I don't want you to call us if if you don't have, say you don't have the time, right? That it takes. Some people are like, well, I don't really want to come to South Carolina. Well, then don't call me, right? Unless you are expecting to pay me to come where you are, and you know that that's an extra cost, right? Then we're going to talk about that in the video, right? I don't even need your information. I don't want you to fill out the form. I don't want you to do nothing. Do
So you
nothing.
would have the video at the top of that booking page before they start booking, and then you would also have a form that they fill out, and then you would also turn on the ability to approve or deny a booking based on you reviewing that form. So it all
Yes.
could be done in Blab. Yes.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I want to do because we get so many calls, and then it's frustrating to me because they're like, okay, so I'm ready. They schedule a time. I've locked off the time from anybody else, and then they pay their deposit, and then at the time for me to get there, it's just like, oh, I changed my mind. Okay, so you change your mind, but that's not useful to me, right? So then I was like, well, then we just gonna make people pay the full price, right? And then that's just another problem because if you think that you paid the full price and then I get there and then what's wrong with you is not what you're telling me. Like I went to DC a few weeks ago. I had talked to this lady like so many times, and I only went because my cousin called me. She's like, this is my girlfriend and this and this and that. And I really need, she can't walk and so forth and so on. And so I go and I get there. She's a sweet lady. But what they told me is wrong with her is not what's wrong with her,
Mm.
you know? And I'm like, so the the price for what they told me is totally different than the price for what she really needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is figure out how to, okay, so you will need to understand that your deposit is for my time, right? Not for the time that it takes me to actually help you. It's just for me to block off the time for you. Anyway, this I know they don't need to know that ahead of time, but you know what I'm saying, for us, that's kind of how it has to be. Because it's only one of me, right? And so then that's like it's like the scarcity of availability is so real. So this year, that's why we got the new office so that we can figure out what that training um, scheduling is going to look like. But it's still going to be, I feel like, a learning curve for people to be able to actually help us in our practice. Because once you learn how to do it, then you have to go. I mean, you learn the theory and the basics.
Yeah.
Then you have to go and experience it, right? And then, you know, you know how education works.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, I don't know what that, because they keep asking me what does that, the biggest question that I get when it comes to the education portion is how long is it going to take me to learn how long is it going to take me to become you? Huh. Well, it took me 53 years to become me, so I don't know what it's going to take you. you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it's just the whole, okay, so are we gonna I feel like we just need to focus on the mechanics, I guess, of it
Mm-hmm.
all and then let people work through it. I don't know. So
Let's schedule a call, Elle. I think I can help.
Awesome. Hallelujah. Thank you. I will do that. Um, so I think I got your number. I'll text you and then we can figure out a
Okay.
time next week. 'Cause I'm meeting with Erica after this, and then I gotta figure out a couple other things. But yeah, I feel this is the first time in this business that I feel like a fish out of water, right? Because I feel like there's too many pieces to this part that I don't know. And I guess that's how it always is when you're working through business. Like you're always learning, every level you get to, you got to learn that level and how to master it.
Well, things are changing so fast, so I think we all feel that way.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
It's kind of like,
Okay.
holy cow, every week finding something new.
Yeah, and it's like, and there's so much information that's coming out about business that was never part of, I would say, mainstream, or you know what I mean? Like things that corporations have been doing for a very long time, or financial managers that you typically, I always wondered, like, why would you pay your financial manager, like this one guy I know, he has a financial manager, and that guy gets paid like $100,000 from him annually. And I'm like, what is he, what do you, why? And now I know there's all these like, like there's tax things, there's business situations, there's ways to set up multiple businesses and do different things. And I was like, and I've known about all these different things, but I never really got the picture of how they were interconnected and how one person owns, or one corporation owns all these different things. I was like, what? And then your company can own you. Did you know that?
I
Because
did.
the government owned you when you were born, right? The government set you up as a dead entity, right? And so then as a dead entity, you are owned, you are a asset for the government. So if you decide to do, like, people talk about their straw man and all this different kind of stuff, but just like the government can own you as a straw man, your trust can own you as a straw man. What?
Just telling all the
It's like,
secrets. Next, you're gonna be telling everybody to look at their QSIP numbers. Shh.
I don't even know what that is. We had to talk about that later, but I'm just like, what? I mean, I have been blown away by the things that I have learned. I have to say, at this level. I mean, because I had no idea of the nuances, let's say, that you get to at different levels.
It sounds like you're saying we need somebody to talk to us about trust. Um, Jason had an event this morning, and I'm just now noticing it now. Jason,
You
why
had
didn't
an
you share this earlier?
I didn't get the graphics until last night. Um, but no, it went well. It went well. I was up real early, just making sure I had the catch page finished for it. But it went well. It went well. It went overtime. They were asking a lot of questions at the end, so it was good. We talked about culinary, but we also talked about other things with the body, and then we talked about forever chemicals, and it kind of went a few places. Then we talked about Rockefeller, and then we talked about how that plays into pharmaceutical and forever chemicals and all the other stuff. So I showed him. I said, "You got to follow the money, and this is why these things are put in place." And so it was good. It was a robust conversation.
Okay. Here it says the replay will happen on the 13th. Uh,
I think it
I don't.
happens until the 13th. Like since I was
Oh,
on Friday, then um, the replay number is up. It'll stay until the next person comes in and does a talk, which is at 5 a.m. Pacific time, 8 a.m. Eastern. And so then that kicks out the last one. So my replay will be up until Monday.
What's
Did you
the
send this to everybody?
Hmm? Say it again.
Did you send this post to everybody?
Yeah, I think so. I think I put it
Okay.
in the chat there.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
don't
Everybody, please
I
support
don't see it in
Jason.
the chat.
Let me see.
Yeah, me either.
It's oh, okay. I guess you know what? I think I hit the thing. I think it just went to Zakia. I thought that it went to everybody. Hold on one second.
Oh, yeah.
I think I was replying, and then it just kicked the message over. Okay, let's see.
I'd like to look at that.
While he's putting that in the chat, does anybody else have anything about something that they learned and found surprising today? Because today was
I'm
really
gonna have to
good.
run here. I got to jump on a phone call, but waiting for
Okay.
Jason's link here. All
It's coming up. So
right.
here we go.
Hope you take a moment to celebrate your birthday, Thomas. As you know,
Yeah,
I will for you.
probably not going anywhere with all the snow, but stay home.
Understood. I hope you have
All right.
cake or something sweet.
We went out for tacos last night, so we'll do the ice cream next week, I guess. All right.
Nice. Yeah,
Very
happy
good.
birthday, Tom.
Thank you. I'm getting old.
it,
All right.
It's better than getting dead.
Dang.
I got a picture here, but I don't, that there's no link.
well, the thing is in the picture. It's a
Oh,
call-in line. It's one of the teleconferences.
oh, okay. Got it. To the Billionaire Mastermind Forum.org.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Sounds good.
Did
All
you
right.
hear what I said, Thomas?
What's that?
You said something about not, you don't celebrate your birthday, whatever. I said it was better than getting dead. You said you're getting old. I said, yeah, but it's better than getting dead.
That's right. Any day above ground is a good day. So.
There you go.
Absolutely. Okay, so you guys, I gotta
All
go
right. I
to.
gotta go.
I want y'all to pray for Darren. Darren is in the hospital. He's in critical care.
Oh,
He's
wow.
still in there.
He's still in there. He it's yeah, it's really um it's difficult. So
Mm,
All right.
mm.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
you
All
You
right.
too.
too.
See you, Tom.
So if you guys didn't have anything else to add about what you learned today, I want to remind you that you can still talk to each other in our LinkedIn group. And that is the
LinkedIn
link.
group.
Yeah, we have a LinkedIn group.
Is
Do
this
we?
new or this has been
No,
around
it's
for?
not new.
Oh, okay.
It's been
You
around
know,
for a year. I know I need to make a list of all the stuff we have and send that out. But yeah, we
yeah.
have a LinkedIn group.
Yeah, I think we have to just decide on which thing we're gonna do as a group because we can't have too many because you can't have like multiple places for the same people because if you do, somebody's gonna be in Facebook, somebody's gonna be on LinkedIn, somebody else gonna be on Instagram, and then they won't talk to each other. So it's gonna be so LinkedIn is gonna be our place since you love LinkedIn so much. Let LinkedIn be our place. It's my
I have
suggestion.
a free Facebook group, but that is to get you here. Um, if you're talking about the Hey Summit page, the virtual summiteers page, I'm not sure you can talk to each other there, but I haven't seen too many people use it for that. So that's why I
Mhm.
said we have a LinkedIn group. But you can talk to people there in the Hey Summit
But will
page.
people
So
talk back?
they can. I don't know if they will. You have the
Yeah.
option to add comments.
I suggest that we just use the LinkedIn group and so everybody can figure out how LinkedIn groups work and if you want to have your own LinkedIn group because I haven't really seen that many LinkedIn groups except this
There's a
one
bunch
in
of
my
LinkedIn groups.
nerves.
They're just not.
I know they do, but we don't. I mean, I don't use them. I mean, because I joined one by accident and they always sending me stuff. And I'm like, how I get off this thing? Because it's not anything I'm interested in.
Okay.
All right. So I love you guys. I gotta go.
All right. I do want to ask
Thank
you
you.
guys, what did you think about this format? And you have
I
any
liked
input?
it. I liked your graphics also. They look great.
Mhm.
Hey, Gamma, check it
Hey.
out. Bye, Elle. Uh, if you have anything you want to add, you can always message me and let me know about the format or our topics. Like I said, trying to stick with generative AI for
Hmm.
January.
Well, I've identified when I am doing the actual cohorts for mastering your media architecture workshop. So I'm excited about that. I did my soft launch, and this is for my MVP. But it's gonna be a whale, I think, because we're gonna dive in, and I'm throwing the kitchen sink at everybody in it, and then I'll chisel it down to see what it's gonna be for the long haul. But yeah, it was a good overview I did the other day. I'm going to do another set of slides where I can make the thing concise. The overview was an overview and a Q&A, and I answered a bunch of questions, the first iteration. This one, I'm going to just go in and now dive into what it is that's going to happen in it. And then I'm going to replace that on the sales page. And then I'll go in eventually and tidy up the copy on the sales page. The copy is not anywhere near my best work. It's just here's some details and stuff, and it's long. I didn't even look it over afterwards. I was like, okay, I'll come back to it. But it's definitely my MVP. I went ahead, pulled the trigger, so I'm very happy that I did.
Hooray.
Hmm.
Um, so another time when you have time, I would love a walkthrough of your setup. Pretty please.
Okay, well, I don't know how much of a walk you're talking about of the workshop, or are you talking about of the way that I did the
Set it
overview, or
up,
what do you mean? Huh?
like how you set it up. What platform did you choose? Why did you choose that platform? How'd you come up with your frameworks? Did you use
Oh,
any tools for that? You know I'm nosy, Jason.
yeah, no,
How
it's
long is it?
StreamYard. I mean, you're gonna have an option because I'm doing all of this. This is the ramp up for when I do the training for my May slot for virtual summiteers.
Okay,
Yeah, so
nice.
I'm doing these cohorts and throwing the kitchen sink at everybody. And then because the whole thing is that by the time that they come through the workshop, they will have a boatload of their stuff set up, you know. Prior to going through the workshop, they do their assessment, and then with their assessment, we go and we build their pillars based on their values, and then structure their content, structure their frameworks and stuff for their business, and pull together their handles and URLs and their content strategy, and then build out their year. And so it's a working workshop. So it's like, when we hit the ground running, it's like do this, do this, do this. And so I'm still creating the easy buttons to make it very seamless because what I shared with everybody, my commitment is by the time we get out of this 2-hour workshop, all of this stuff of yours will be set up. So here's what you got to do now. And so it'll be a fire hydrant that you're drinking from with the straw. I get that. But by the time that you look around, you'll say, that was a lot. And oh my gosh, I did so much. I did a lot. Look, I got all this done. Yep, got it all done. So I'm excited about that. It's the first time that I have seen this done. Not saying it hasn't been done, it's just the first time I've seen it done.
Sounds pretty spiffy. I'm excited.
Hmm.
Your talk is in May, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This kid said that makes it a first. Um, I think I
Oh,
missed
I was
it.
just being facetious. She was like,
Oh,
"This is the first time you haven't seen it done, so that makes it the first time."
oh, right, 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 right. Yeah, 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 so I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. So
Hooray.
the actual workshop is going to be not this Tuesday, it'll be the following Tuesday. And so I'm onboarding the rest of the folks who are coming through because they got to do their BSET first, and then we meet, and then from that meeting we'll start to get them structured for the workshop. So by the time that they get into the workshop, they hit the ground running.
Nice.
And then everybody will hear the content and what I go over from their lens, not from just what the workshop is talking about. It's like, no, now you see how this works for you. So they'll extract exactly what they need to extract from it to apply it directly to their situation.
Very interesting.
And we'll
Hmm.
be able to register for that after you do your workshop in May.
Yeah, wait, say it again. You said, will
You
you
said
guys?
you said this is the ramp up for when you do your session in May.
Mm-hmm. Because this will provide the folks who come through it, and it's like, okay, so here's the case studies. These are the folks who this has worked for. I mean, they're okay. Here, I'll share the what you call it, the page. Don't judge me, y'all. Let me grab this real quick, and you'll see the page. It is just my Thrive cart. I'm going to go in and make corrections, just not now. Let me see. How was y'all's week, by the way?
Good. I've done
Uh,
nothing.
Oh, wow. Oh, and
I'm
so
working.
my Junebug's client is really happy with what is happening for her and the stuff that I've been pushing out to her.
That's the one with the sauce, right?
Yeah.
Remember.
Okay, so here is the dealie. So I'm going to replace that video that's in there now with, I'm going to do a walkthrough that is just very specific. And I'm going to go through all of the pieces and talk about, okay, so what's going to happen in it.
Wow, and you can create pages like this with ThriveCart?
Yeah,
I didn't know you
actually,
could do it like
that page right there looks horrible in comparison to what you can do with DriveCard.
that. I'm gonna need a walkthrough of ThriveCart because none of mine look like this. And you
Really?
said you can do better. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this right here is a absolute slouch job, and I'm a little embarrassed by it, but I've come past my embarrassment just to pull the trigger. So yeah.
I'm gonna say nice work because I couldn't get mine to do this. So yeah,
Mm,
nice work.
thanks. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. Um I I'm looking forward to really getting in there and helping because I know that it's going to help a lot of people coming through it. I know it is. I'm excited. That part I'm excited about. Getting to that finish line was not as fun. It was about a week of sleepless nights, just kind of chewing on it and getting talked off the ledge. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, so it is open for folks to sign up and whatnot. Hey, y'all, if you have anybody who needs to go through this, please share it out because I am pulling out all the stops on this one, and they're going to go from concept. Well, they're going to go from BSAT to pillars, BSAT to concept to pillars to fulfillment, getting their sleeves rolled up and then diving into the work itself. And so that's the part that excites me, the pre-work and then the actual work inside the workshop, to where it's like, okay, so this is why you're doing this and this is what you're doing. And this is how you're setting it up so that you can go other places with it later on. Instead of you set this up and now what do you do? Oh, now you got to set something else up. No, no. Set it up this way, and that'll open up some doors for you later on. And so we've got a media component in there, which I'm excited about. Um, because once they get to that point, and I would say my suggestion is going to be that they wait for about 60 to 90 days. But if they go in a month, if they really grind it out in the month, then they could still be newsworthy. And then I'm going to open up to them where I push them in front of the media one time and just to kind of get them kicked off into a little bit more mainstream. And so they can get interviews done and stories on them and all of that good stuff. But they got to flesh their stuff out. And so that's what the BSAT will help them do.
Nice. Is there an affiliate link?
Not as of yet. Do I have an affiliate link for this? Let me check. I might have, but yeah, I might have. Let me see.
And
Because I thought I
you,
didn't have any of those set up on ThriveCart, and then I saw one thing that I had, and it said, "Oh, affiliate." I was like, "I set that up," and so I hadn't remembered because I hadn't done anything for a moment, and so I'm going in there now.
so I see the price is 197, and you can say no to this. Just as me being nosy
No, no,
again.
no.
How
The
many?
197, that is for the prelim membership. That's the bump. The
Okay,
actual workshop is 595.
595. Okay,
Hmm.
how many people do I have to get in at 595 for me to get in for free? Is it five? Is it six?
Um, 5 would actually do it.
Okay, so I need to get 5 people in so I can
Yeah,
get myself
5 would
in.
do it. Hmm.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Okay. Where's my Thrive card? Here it is.
So the guy who runs Glass, I'm not sure if you remember Glass, but they have a podcast and
Hmm.
they have a lot of members. And he's looking for people to be on this podcast. And I'm going
Hmm.
to recommend the Jason Hodge so I can get my 5 people at 595 so I can go too.
Okay. That'll definitely work out. So then I'll create a special link for you. And okay, so yeah, I'll create a special link for you so that you're able to send people through that link.
Great.
Yeah, actually, I'll duplicate the page, uh, and then I'll know. Okay, yeah, all of them came through Erica's page. Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything else to add for generative AI today?
Yeah, you know what? Prompting your prompts is important. I think folks do run into challenges. I do use my AI different, and I'd use it not to come up with ideas. I don't particularly like the ideas that AI comes up with when I ask it stuff like that. So you know, and I'm not lacking on ideas. I do like when I have it break down a framework because even if I don't use the exact framework, I do find that the frameworks do tend to be general. However, just getting started, fixing it as opposed to having to manufacture it from scratch, That is helpful. You know, it's kind of like fixing a recipe. Okay, ooh, I would have done a little bit more of this and a little less of that. You know, it's easier stepping off point. But if I'm in a conversation with somebody, then all I need to do is hit a record button, and that way I could just pull the information that comes up in the midst of the conversation. That's usually when my ideas are uh, pop the most, is when I am in service. So in order to get the better stuff out of me, I have to find some place to serve, and then I can get some good ideas. If that well, it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Zakia, did you get an affiliate link for Eureka yet?
I did. I
And
was approved that night after the right after the broadcast. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I did
may I have
update
you?
it everywhere.
Okay. May I have your affiliate link, please? I really want to check that out.
Sure.
You wouldn't happen to know if they're on a lifetime deal, would you?
No, they're not. They were, so they may come back at some point.
Was it from AppSumo?
Yep.
Dang it, I missed
It
it.
was around right after Black Friday.
Oh, okay. That whole gap analysis thing really got me.
Yeah. Because you can see what others aren't doing and then plug in the holes for, or wait a minute, I know nothing about this content. Let me step away from these courses, right? But if there's like clear things that you know that
Hmm.
people are saying was missing, there you go.
Yeah, that that tool could be a service within itself.
That's what I offered. So remember I had the lead magnet at the end where people scan the QR code. The really nice thing, Restream, you can see when people scan your QR codes. So I could see how many people were actually doing it. But I got 3 paid consultations, and one of them does want me to do the research in Eureka and give them a report.
I was watching you on my phone, but I know where the recording is, so I can go back and scan it.
Yes.
Nice. Well, okay. I'm gonna go look out the
Okay, I
window.
am. Let me see. I meant to send that a little while ago. Um, KZ, that was from our conversation that we had
Mm-hmm.
when we did your B set. I was supposed to send you the one thing, and then I got caught up getting this workshop together. Let's see. Okay, that's good.
Litchi?
Contracts. Okay. Let me see. Contracts. Okay, that's the FTC Guardian, and then the Thrive card. Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Don't do the okay, the FTC Guardian. Don't do that one. They do have a lifetime on the enterprise. So let me find another one for that one. Z.
What's the FTC Guardian?
That's the legal things that I do my legal forms and stuff with.
Okay.
So is it really
Okay, but the Thrive cart one, that is a good one though. That's the one where it says shopping cart. It's two underneath the video.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, cool. And so that is oh, that's the switchy page, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have to update that one anyway.
So I was
Okay.
gonna let you guys go so I can look out the window at snow.
Okay, nice.
Awesome. Well, enjoy it.
And I'll
Oh,
send you a link, Erica, that's coded to you. Okay.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
You too, Z.
All right.
All right, Erica, have fun looking at the snow.
I will.